Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I've got a free pick for you in the Canadian Football League. I'm also excited about Pro Fight League and Power Slap tonight. So I have two picks for one for Power Slap, one for Pro Fight League. I'm going to lock those in, hopefully at MGM. My app's not working. I've got 32 grand in there from last time I was in Vegas. Couldn't lock in a bet. Thankfully, I couldn't because I was trying to take the Canadian football over last night just for fun. But saved me a little bit of money, their app not working. So hopefully I can get it to work today, though, because I'm not trying to come to Vegas and not place any bets. Last night's game was on track through the first quarter. It was like the perfect first quarter. At halftime, we were in a good position. And then second half, Alexander Hollins, I think the last time he touched the ball was like early in the second quarter. So he has 55 yards in the second quarter. And he ends the game with 55 yards. Completely bizarre. He had 215 receiving yards last week, and he only gets 55 this week. So it kind of sucks. Weird CFL game. Normally the correlation has really been strong, but this is something to keep an eye on here where the Edmonton quarterback goes under, top receiver goes over, and then British Columbia's quarterback goes way over with 330 yards, and then his receiver one doesn't go over. So we just got to keep an eye on it. If it's not super correlated like college football was last year, and if it's closer to NFL, which I don't think it is, I still think it's as strong as college football, just less games because we have less teams, then I think we start looking more at the unders. And today, Toronto's playing. They've been an unders machine, so I'm definitely looking at the unders there. So you look at their quarterback, he really dukes. He hasn't hit his over once this season. I think they've only played 2 games, though, but he hasn't hit his over once. And then you look at the receivers, you got Coxie and Bailey, 45.5 yards, 52.5 yards. I'll pull up the Canadian football stats. I've got Toronto pulled up here. You know, Toronto doesn't have one player that has had over 100 yards combined on the season. So they don't even have a guy that's averaging 40 yards a game yet. But if you look at Coxie, he's only played 1 game. So Coxie's only played 1 game, so even though he only has 58 yards, he did pretty well. 3 receptions, so he was getting those in chunks. He had a 36-yard reception. I really like the Toronto unders here. With Coxie, I can go over if I want to do a hedge, because I always like to take the overs. It's way more fun to take the overs. So I am going to try to get some exposure to the overs, even though I like Toronto's unders here. So I'm going to go Coxie with the quarterback over. And then I'll probably go Bailey with the quarterback under. And you can make multiple variations of these picks, guys. I'm going to lock a couple in for you live here on the YouTube video. And then I'll send my full slate out to VIP. But if we look at how we're doing on the season, I dropped 3 units yesterday. Had 3 plays. All 3 got ruined by the game. Just no correlation yesterday. You look at last Sunday, dropped 4 plays. You know, it's kind of sucked the last few days in CFL. And if you've been riding with me and you're inexperienced and you haven't been with me last football season, you might think this is terrible and it doesn't feel good. But if we look at the big picture, if we look at the full season, we have 2 wins right here for 900 and 850. So when we win, we're picking up 8.5, 9 units per win. So on the season, even though we're on a cold streak right now, we're only down 2.5 units on the season. If we come out and we hit a couple 10x, 9.5x plays, we're up 20 units all of a sudden. And we're early in the season, guys. It's going to be a long year of CFL. So just stay the course. Look at this spreadsheet. Understand, hey, this is normal. This is not the end of the world. If I go to college football DFS over here, I mean, we would go through lots of cold streaks here, and then boom, you get 400, you get 800. And if I scroll all the way down in college football, to where we ended the season, it was a lot of plays. I mean, we are 2,000 rows deep into the spreadsheet, guys. So I don't know if this is actually organized or not, but we ended up over 200 units on the season. So I'll try to do it real quick, guys. Some of y'all that know spreadsheet are probably frustrated watching this, but fuck, I don't know how to do it. But if I were to add all the wins and losses in college football, over 200 units on the season. So we're going to be fine in Canadian football. We're just starting out. And the thing about me, guys, is I'm always recapping my losses. I've actually won so much on PrizePicks that they've limited me to $5. So I'll show you that too here. If I try to do $20 over here, some people see my channel, they're like, dude, you're only doing, oh, this might go through. Oh, no, I'm in Vegas, that's why. I was like, man, it was taking longer. So back in Texas, if you watch some of my other videos, you'll see, I can only put down $5 a play on PrizePicks because they know I win. So for Montreal, we're going to take the overs. For Toronto, we'll take the unders. I'm going to do, what did I say here? Coxie. Go back to the thing. So Coxie, I'll take the over. And it's only 45.5. He got that 36-yard reception. So for Coxie, we'll go over. So for Bailey, we'll go under. And then for Montreal, we have Philpott and Grant. Both the guys I like. Both have done well. But Philpott last year, I think Philpott was a top 10 receiver in the CFL. This year, let's see where he's at. Honestly, we'll just pull it up. Takes 2 seconds. So I'm still learning all the players, guys. I've only been watching Canadian football for a few weeks, but I'm starting to get real familiar with these guys, doing research on them. Philpott's got 340 receiving yards in 3 games played this season. And if I go to the whole league, he is the third receiver. The only 2 over him have played 4 games. So after this game, he's probably going to lead the league in receiving yards if he can catch up to Hollins. But I'll take Philpott over the 80. And then it's good, too, guys, to even look at last year's stats to see who were the studs last year because, some of the guys this year, they haven't really shown up yet. Tim White hasn't shown up at all. But last year, he led the league in yards. So I'm kind of looking forward to Tim White having a bounce-back game this week. And then you can scroll through here and kind of just see who was there last year and who's doing well. But doesn't mean anything if this year everything's changed. But I like both of the overs for Montreal. So I would do this pick right here. I'll scroll through. I'm not going to be able to lock it in this video, unfortunately, since I'm in Nevada. I can't lock in any PrizePicks. But Montreal quarterback with Philpott, both over. Toronto receiver Bailey and Dukes under. And then if you do want to get some Toronto overs, just make sure you pair the quarterback and receiver. And I'm going to go Coxie with Dukes over. So there's 2 free plays for you right there in the Montreal-Toronto game tonight. Super excited about Canadian football. Now for the power slap, we were looking at Paige Van Zant's, basically if she has any tape doing power slap. She's kind of just fucking around in the tape they released, which when I see that, I think, okay, she's probably just trolling us. She's probably just messing around, which she is. She's probably going to slap harder than she did in that promo video. But if you look at the chick she's fighting, some lesbian chick, undersized, so she's a smaller girl. She got knocked out by a huge blonde chick that had to cut like 30 pounds of weight just to make that fight. So I'm going to take that South African lesbian-looking chick that's going up against Paige Van Zant because it's close to a pick'em. She's only like minus 130. And then I've been watching the line in Pro Fight League on Tyler Diamond as well. Tyler Diamond's going up against a solid fighter. He's the underdog, but he was like plus 130, plus 140. Now he's all the way up to plus 170, plus 180. So if we can get Tyler Diamond close to plus 200, you look at all of Diamond's losses, they're to guys like Bryce Mitchell, top 10 UFC guy, Brandon Lockney, top PFL guy, PFL champ. I think he won a championship in PFL. And, all the dudes that Tyler Diamond has lost to have been competitive fights, and they've been really legit guys. The guy he's fighting has a really good career in Bellator and UFC, but he's used to fighting at 135. Now he's in the PFL. Now he's got to come up to 145. And I think Tyler Diamond's going to have a big size advantage in the ring. And when you get into the smart cage with a size advantage like that, and you're the plus 180 underdog, it's just good value. So I'm gonna parlay those 2 plays today. I'll send all this out on Winnable, and I'll send it out on WAP to you guys. But thank you so much for watching the video. Good luck with all your bets today. I'm going to have fun in Vegas, walking around, going to UFC X. If anybody's in Vegas, hit me up. We'll meet up. It'll be a good time. We're vlogging out here. That's all I've got for you guys. I'll be doing CFL every day that there's games. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.